welcome. In today's video, we are talking about what you can do in order to improve bowel movements immediately. Meaning, if you're somebody who struggles with constipation, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you can do to help reduce the constipation and get you to poop quicker. I'm Dr. Czezowski, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, she talks a lot about lymph. Yes, I do. What I talk about, though, a whole lot is drainage pathways. And our drainage pathways are lymph, liver, gut, kidneys, skin, and lungs. And most of my questions are typically surrounding lymphatic drainage, lymphatic congestion, that type of thing. So that's where a lot of my videos come from. But if we are not pooping, or if we have an issue with one of the other organ systems, it is going to absolutely affect our lymphatic system's ability to drain. So you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, hold on here. I don't poop regularly. I struggle, I'm constipated, or I'm not pooping enough, or I have bloating, or I have cramping. I have all the symptoms, the digestive symptoms. And I also have allergies, or I also have skin conditions, or I also have fluid retention, or, well, it could be because they really do go hand in hand. So let's dive in and talk about what you can do to improve your bowel movements, your digestion, in order to improve your lymphatic drainage. First and foremost, what I want you to do is take note at how much water you're drinking. You do want to make sure you're drinking clean, filtered water, not from like regular tap. Reason being, there's just a whole bunch of toxins and other things that are in tap water that we just don't need to be putting in our body, because then it means our lymph, our liver, our kidneys, all of that has to filter it out. Now, here is a tip. You ready? I want you to take just a pinch, literally a pinch of salt. My favorite right now is Baja Gold. Pinch of salt, put it on your tongue, and then go and drink your water. Why? Well, that pinch of salt with all of the minerals is actually going to help your body absorb the water you're drinking so much better. What you're also going to notice is it's actually going to reduce the amount of times you have to go pee. I hear all the time, Dr. Kaylin, I can't drink any more water. Like, I am peeing every hour. Okay, well, you're peeing every hour because your body's not absorbing it. You're not actually hydrating yourself at a cellular level, which means it is going to affect your bowel movements. So try that pinch of salt with your water and see how much better and more easily hydrated you are. So that's tip number 1. Number 2, I want you to start to raise your legs when you are sitting on the toilet trying to go number 2. And you might be like, raise my legs? What are you talking about? Okay, ideally, and it's whatever you want to use, but squatty potties are my favorite. Why? Well, because they tuck away, they like literally push in to the toilet, so it like isn't just kind of sitting there in the middle of your bathroom taking up space like a regular stool would, but you 100% could use a regular stool. And all you're going to do is when you're sitting on the toilet, you're ultimately going to bring your feet up. When you bring your feet up, because you may be like, what in the world does bringing your feet up have to do with being able to go to the bathroom? Well, when you bring your knees up, when you bring your knees above your hips, what happens is it changes the tilt of your pelvis, which changes where your intestines, so where your colon sits. It ultimately straightens things out. And when you straighten things out, it makes it easier for you to go to the bathroom. So one of the tips that I give my one-on-one clients is while you're brushing your teeth, because it's usually like 2 minutes, right? Go sit on the toilet and just put your legs up and see what happens in those 2 minutes. More times than not, people end up having more regular, easy bowel movements just because their colon is being put in the more optimal position to go to the bathroom. So that's tip number 2. Number 3, chew your freaking food, guys. We cannot just shovel food in our mouth and expect our stomach and our intestines to break it down. We have teeth to break up and like masticate our food so that it takes away some of that transient time. Otherwise, we're putting more pressure on our stomach, we're putting more pressure on our small intestines and our large intestines, which is gonna slow things down. And when we slow transient time down, it means the longer food is sitting in our system, the more our body is going to reabsorb water, which ultimately is then going to make it harder to pass or have a bowel movement. It's going to make our bowel movements much harder and a lot more difficult to have. So chew your food. By chewing your food, you're going to ideally slow down the amount of time that that food is going to sit in your system, i.e. making it a more softer, pleasurable bowel movement to have. That's number 3. Number 4, what you're going to want to do is look at increasing the probiotics and maybe even the prebiotics in your food. Why? Well, our microbiome is part of what helps move things along. And so most of us don't have a well-diverse microbiome, unfortunately. And it has a lot to do with the environment that we live in now. And that's yet another reason why I recommend drinking filtered water is we don't want to be drinking things that's going to alter our microbiome too extensively. So consuming things, easy things, like I'm not talking about going and buying a whole bunch of different supplements. Eating things like sauerkrauts or kimchis. Fermented foods are fantastic. Why? Because there's a whole bunch of microbes in there that can really help repopulate the gut. Things like kefir can also be very beneficial. So looking at adding those types of fermented foods can be super beneficial at having a healthy, regular bowel movement. Now, one expert tip, I guess I would call it, is don't only buy the exact same sauerkraut, the exact same brand over and over and over again. Change it up. Why? Because different brands and different krauts or different ferments are going to have different microbes. We want to make sure that we're increasing and diversifying the microbes that we have in our gut. All right, number 5. This is my tried and true. This works literally on pretty much everybody. Some people, if you have been constipated for long times, you're going to have to be consistent and you're going to have to be patient, but this does work. All right, join me on the floor. Okay. So this method is an abdominal massage. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab an oil of your choice. My favorite is castor oil. Why? For a variety of reasons, but the big one is it doesn't get absorbed into the skin super quickly, so you can really get in there and massage the intestines. And ultimately what we're doing is we're influencing, moving the fecal matter out, really is what it is. Now, a lot of people on babies call it the I love you method, and that's really what this is. So the location that you start, the direction that you do it, is so super duper important. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do so you can get the best benefits. All right, come with me. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you are going to cover your stomach with the oil of your choice. Again, I'm using castor oil. You are going to start, this is my left side, this is my right side. You're going to start on the left side, your left hip bone. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hands, find your hips, and that's where you're gonna start. So on the left side, we're gonna go from the hip down to the pubic bone. Now you're gonna do this skin on skin. Obviously, I'm not gonna show you everything because it would be inappropriate, but you're gonna push in with as much pressure as you can handle, and you're going down to that pubic bone. Now, what I'm gonna say is you're gonna wanna do at least 10 passes before you move on. So once we do 10 passes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna move up to your rib cage and you're gonna go down to your hip bone and then down to your pubic bone. That's 1, 2. So again, this is the left side, 3. And you can use your other hand if you want to go in deeper, if that's more comfortable. And you're just gonna keep doing this until you get to 10. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once we go from the left hip down to the pubic bone, then we're gonna move across. So we're gonna go right ribs to left ribs, so across. And you can do it where you're going across like this a few times before you go down. You absolutely can do it that way, or you can just do it where you go across and down. Now, again, you can see that I am pushing pretty in. I'm not just rubbing across, I'm pushing down, bringing it over, down, down. And you can have your hands in different positions. It's whatever feels good to you. The big thing is moving in the order and in the direction that I'm showing you. So once we do 10 here, then what we do is we go from the right hip and we come up, up, up. And I like to bring it up a few times before I bring it all the way over. I just feel like I get a little bit better movement. And absolutely partway through, you can just do a few up before you go over and down. Now, after you do 10 on the right hip, all the way over, I like to do circle massage, starting on the right and just bringing it over. I'm coming away from more of the hip to more of the midline, closer to the belly button, and just bringing it over. Now, why I like to finish with this is it just feels nice, it's very relaxing, and it can really help get things moving. Why it's important to start on the left side and not the right side is we're moving the fecal matter at the end. So the colon is on the left side. If we're starting on the right side and we're trying to move all of that congested, that backed up fecal matter, we're ultimately just causing a bigger traffic jam. So let's start at the end, the colon, right? Which is why we start at the left hip, clear that, get that moving, then go a little bit further up, then move a little bit further up, then move a little bit further up. I'm using the same technique, the same thought process behind my lymphatic drainage. Start closest to the end and then work yourself away. So don't ever start at the right hip, start at the left, and you will see magical results. Let me know how it goes. I can't wait to hear. Happy draining.